What's going on, everybody? 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10, along with my man Zen here. Look, I like to celebrate the small wins, but sometimes you just need to celebrate the big ones too. So today is happy 9th birthday to Carbiz. We've got balloons, we've got the logo. It's an amazing day. I just recently had dinner with our clients that started it all. And we're still working together 9 years later. We're still having fun. We're still adding value to each other's relationships. And that's really what this has become. The 9th year of the business, I can finally say to myself, okay, I think we might be around for a 10th. And that's only really recently, and it's crazy given the last 2 years that you would be in such a place to say that. But we've really done it through restraint. People have asked me for years to add on other products, to do other things, and it wasn't till this year. So the physical January of this year, so basically into the year 9 of the business, that we finally did an add-on service to dive into some social data and things like that, after being asked for years and just saying to myself, no, I got to perfect this. We've got to be great at that. And I think a lot of people always wonder why it's so important to me to be great at one thing and not just have this like mass offer. And it's because I don't really ever see mass offers work out. I see niche, reason people do business with people, relationship businesses to be working out. We're fortunate that Carbiz has given us the ability to have a platform to share how we believe you should look at data, how we believe, it can be impacted by certain maneuvers within whatever it is your marketing plan is. So that part of the business has just been so much fun to watch. Now, obviously, the last 2 years have been crazy. It sounds like, given everything going on right now in our world, the next 2 may be equally as crazy, but in different ways. And again, coming up on a year away from 10 years, that sort of every decade balance where you see things come and go and get bigger, get smaller. It's a very interesting time. And to think that our company now has hit its stride. In the last quarter, Q1 of this year is the biggest quarter we'll have ever experienced for new client additions in our history. And it's almost funny to me because it's the 9th year, and you would have thought that would have happened years ago, or there would be some sort of a downturn or whatever the case might be. But because we sort of designed everything as lean as possible for both client and us, the expense to do business with people isn't as great as other people. So we know that we'll always be in a place where it makes sense. If you value the data, if you value eyes on data, then what we provide is always pretty seamless. But again, I'm sitting here saying this to you in year 9. It wasn't until the last year or 2 that we've been able to say, okay, everyone just take a breath. This is working. This is going that way. And I'm never satisfied in a certain way, just in my own mind. But I'll tell you, this experience has been as close to satisfying as I think I could possibly be when it comes to a job or a career or anything like that. I was just recently sitting with my therapist, Jessica, and I said to her, she said, well, just because it's great doesn't mean there's not stress and things that come with it. And I honestly said to her, look, I didn't really want to do this way. And I mean that as in, we had just found our stride at the end of 21. And we had all even joked internally that, wow, yeah, perfect. Like this is the wave. Let's just ride the wave. And then all of a sudden, this bigger wave comes up behind it and crashes on it. And instantly, I've kind of moved my company into a little bit bigger of a league, probably no longer in the minor leagues, probably in the major leagues of company, and having to worry about things that you weren't having to worry about before because you were small and you were niche. And I know these sound like first world problems, to put it gently, but being an entrepreneur, being responsible for other people's livelihoods, being responsible for bringing in revenue, keeping people happy, that's something that never goes away. It doesn't stop stacking up on you. And so when you find a groove and you find this bit of relief, for me, all right, I'm not a serial entrepreneur who's trying to grow something big to sell it. I'm trying to do something to maintain a lifestyle for hopefully the rest of my life, or for as long as the franchise dealer to consumer business model exists. I want to be a part of it. So that's my focus. That's always been my focus. And it's as you grow the business, as other opportunities come to you and other people say to you, wow, that's really cool. How do I do something like that? Or how do I get involved in what you're doing? It sort of bends the mind. It really does, because you just figured that you were just going to do this little thing that may or may not catch on. And honestly, I don't know if you would have asked me 9 years ago if I thought I'd be sitting here 9 years later. I don't know. I don't know. It's very odd. Someone asked me that the other night while we were out at dinner, and I said, I don't know. I guess the Sean is always a car guy, always on side of my brain was like, I mean, obviously, why would I have done it if I wasn't going to be here 9 years later? But the Sean from years 1 through 3, who just stressed about every single thing and every single moment, every single interaction, every single everything, I don't think I could have seen this far ahead. I'm sure everyone else did. Well, I know my wife did. I'm not even sure my own business partner did. That's just truth. I just don't think when we got into this, anyone saw that as being something. And maybe that's because I typically, just in my own life day to day, I don't typically look at a range that far out. That's one of the things Steffi and I always talked about when we first got together. She's a huge saver and investor in the future. And I'm always like, who cares about 5 years from now? Who cares if I'll even be here? Her and I have been together having that conversation now as of April for 19 effing years. Okay, so clearly she was right 19 years ago and continues to be right on that. So the idea of the longer view is something that, again, I've been able to come on board with as of recently. And I would stress to anyone considering making the leap into being an entrepreneur that you do your damnedest to see out as far as possible and plan to get there as slow as possible. Slow as possible. Because it wasn't until years 6, 7, or 8 that this company made money enough to make sense from leaving a 6-figure job previous to it. But if you don't consider money and you consider life and time, that's worth all of it. So thank you for everyone who's been a part of the journey, whether that's clients, vendors, friends. Thank you specifically to Tom Zimbrick, Kendall Dahlman, the Zimbrick organization. We literally would not be here without you. Thank you to my wonderful wife, my business partner, Jeff. Without the two of them, even if someone did want to bring me on, I probably would have failed at it without them. So thank you all so very much, and we look forward to experiencing 9 more great years together. Have yourselves a wonderful week. We'll see you again next week for a May month full of fixed ops.